Hello. You have to say it back to me. Hola. Bonjour. Hello. Hi. What's up? How you feeling? Good. How you living? Hello, symptoms of depression. I see you moving through layers of dark brown skin and tomato-colored cars. I feel you gnawing on my joints. I am trapped inside the mouth of a saltwater crocodile, and I can't charm my way out of this one. If only I had a pencil sturdy enough to pry open those poems that saved me once before, but I don't. So I am stuck at the dinner table dining on emotional leftovers with you. How did you decorate my head with flowers made from doubt? I thought you were sleeping. Being the strong, black woman I am, I carried you to bed and tucked you in, only to be awakened by your attempts at strangling me the next morning. Hello! Symptoms of depression. Why did you break into my head and steal my song? That tune carried me like West Texas tumbleweeds from the bottom of despair to paradise. It hopscotched down cobblestone streets in Cuba, bounced in Brooklyn, and danced under a Dallas sky. That song kept my 12-year-old self from breaking down into unrecognizable pieces in a small city full of big sharks who loved feasting on familial blood. My blood, my mama's blood, my own blood bled me. Hello, depression? For years, you have been the elephant in my family's living room, and years of racism and oppression has made it very hard for me to acknowledge you. You don't have to squeeze my neck so hard. My chest is not a bench. Please grant me some wiggle room. I need to go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, wash my face, and cry in the shower. Cry, baby, suck your mama titty. Cry, baby, suck your mama titty. Cry, baby, suck your mama titty. The shells pointed me west, far away like sunbows in November. Space whistled for brown hands to hold on as a honey-locked fist guided me back to the womb. With each twist and turn, a cornrow emerged, a crossroad of some sort, a railroad track to the nomad, the Milky Way to a dreamer. I am searching for my mama's song. Her name was Barbara Ann. Do y'all know that song? Ba 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 Barbara Ann. Ba 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 ba. Who can hit that note? Barbara. I can't. Barbara Ann. On March 7th, 1959, in San Gabriel County, Texas, Barbara Ann Mitchell entered the world seeing double. She was a peculiar twin, born with broken legs. Her biological mother gave her away, keeping the boy with girl tendencies instead. My mama's new mama was her old mama's sister, who had a womb that terrified babies, so she carried them all in her heart. Somewhere between the stitching on a pretty dress and curse words that dangled from alcoholic lips, my mama found a home in Lubbock, Texas. But what is home to a black gypsy? Does it feel warm like an early morning yawn, or cold like winter's whisper. My mama's new daddy was a man who I watched place dirt on fresh cuts. Their house hid machetes, madness and magic lined the door. Barbara Ann was brilliant. But behind closed doors, time bombs made her tick. She nervously picked and plucked and picked and plucked. Eyelashes, eyebrows in the back of her head. Bald spots stood where ponytails once played. Ooh. It's a shame when a child has to wear a grown woman's wig. Too soon her hips swayed, enticing a boy that would eventually give her his last name and so much more. Her tiny frame stretched like clotheslines as she carried 9th grade books and baby number 1. Number 2 quickly followed, but never made it out alive. Legend has it, he was her first male child. Her clan grew. She blossomed in the drama club, on the newspaper staff, and was salutatorian of her class. Not bad for a baby mom at 14, wouldn't you say? Before she could pledge AKA or follow the Eastern Star, that baby boy came back. This time she was forced to push him out into a world that wasn't always kind. 3 years later, guess who? She tried to push me out, but I was born to rebel. Doom, 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 doom. Hey! I ain't Hollywood's version of Nina Simone. I'm the pulsating sound of drums beating bop to bop to bop, bop to bop, summoning stars to awaken, because galaxies be neat and dark matter to be. I go way black underground, to when water was plucked from ancient mama tongues. I swam to the top, determined to not drop a single sliver of gratitude. Basically, on November 23rd, 1982, my 23-year-old mama couldn't contain the fire in her belly, so they had to cut me out. She was carved open. My ears echoed the meadow, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. Like blood drops on a tin roof, I broke through, gasping for air because I was being suffocated by all the words my mama was not supposed to say, but we were born to be poets. She used her voice to challenge the police, who had no sympathy for a black woman audacious enough to walk on the hills of thunder. In 1983, they pulled her over, then pulled her pants down, lifted up her shirt, told her to turn around, spread your cheeks, they are peanut butter brown, close your mouth, do not make a sound. This is our body, you've been a bad girl. You wrote bad checks, this is a white man's world. Don't you sass me, bring that ass to me. Her breast was still full of my milk when the police inappropriately squeezed them. Thank you. Take a deep breath in. Release. Take a deep breath in. Release. Another deep breath in. Release. My name is Ashley Wilkerson. That is an excerpt of a piece that I am writing called Searching for My Mother's Song. And my mama, I'm hearing a lot of stories about parents dying from leukemia. What is up with leukemia? My mother died on June 29th, 1993 from leukemia. She was diagnosed, and in less than a year she was dead. This dress I'm wearing was a gift from one of my mentors who was born on the day my mama died. I have a lot of those magical moments. Her name is Bernstein Singley. She's about 5'11". Can you believe it? And so when Michelle asked me to share, being an artist, being a creator, there's so many stories that I have buried inside me. And there are so many stories that I want to remain buried inside me. Because as you know, we can just tell the cute story. Hi, hola, bonjour. Oh wow, she's black, she speaks all those languages. It's like, no, I just know how to communicate, you know. Basic. I know enough to fool people. But this poem and this story kept following me. How many writers are in the room? You know that experience where you try to step away, like, no, I don't want to do that, and it keeps pulling you back. That is what this piece did to me, and is what it is doing for me. I'd like to share that there's power in the tongue. We know that. And at the beginning of this year, let me just say, there's another part to this story. So I was 10 years old when my mother died. Again, she was 34. I didn't realize that 34 was the elephant on my chest. And so on Thanksgiving or Day of Gratitude, or however we want to acknowledge our indigenous brothers and sisters, I turned 35. So I'm a few months older than my mother was when she left here. And when I tell y'all I'm just getting started, I feel this fire in my belly, I feel this fire in my heart, and things are just manifesting left and right. I came here feeling under the weather. Believe it or not, you're getting 40% of Ashley. How do y'all like 40%? Shout out to the angels. You getting 40%. Catch me on another day, you might get 75. But I am so spirit-filled and so grateful because at the beginning of this year, being 35, right, in a city where I can sometimes pass for 25, thank you. Depending on what shoes I'm wearing or how my hair is styled, you know, I like to say between like 25, no, 23 and maybe 37. Okay, I'm being generous. And so, something about being 35 has freed me in many ways. I went through my Facebook profile and I was like, I'm feeling really protective of myself. And I'm like, I want to just eliminate some friends who I really don't talk to that much. I don't, you know, maybe we can grow, maybe we can come back. But I'm like, have I spoken to you since we first met? You know, 35 is a way, I don't know, I just feel like, let me tie some knots and let me untie some knots, right? And so, at the beginning of this year, I was joking with my sister because by profession, I'm an actress and I'm a poet. And I decided about 8 months ago that I'm a vibe specialist. I help transform the energy in the room. And it came so naturally. I see y'all nodding your head like I see it now. Yeah, someone said, Playboy, are you a vibrator specialist? I was like, no, you're out of line. No. And so I knew being an artist and being a creative person, because I took that job because I said, I need to be still. That first depression poem was inspired, my grandmother died, and it gave me permission to mourn the death of my mother and my brother who was killed, because I did what a lot of artists do. As soon as I said, I need to find a way to sit still. And I found this job in corporate America, but as you can tell, I don't do corporate America well. So it had to be a really creative environment.
And so when they printed Vibe Specialist, I was being very strategic because I knew I was not going to be there forever. I knew that. They knew that. When it was time for me to go, they were like, you gotta go change the world. Hi, Ashley, here you go. Please just make sure you know. And I'm like, thank you. Bye. It's been great. Signing off. And I knew that theater teacher, and I was teaching poetry to young girls who were incarcerated. And I'm like, wait a minute. I had to go in there and assess the energy in the room and change the vibe in jail. So Vibe Specialist has been with me since the beginning of time, since I was a little girl in West Texas making up stories. And trying to see the thing. Great. I didn't think I was going to take 15 minutes, but hey, this is what happens when the spirit moves. So, and thank y'all for being with me. I know how it is when you're at the edge, and I see some of you really trying to follow. You get it. You get it. You get it. So the little Vibe Specialist whose mother died when she was 10, whose brother was killed, who was raised by her sister who was 20 and I was 12, decided, okay, now I'm an artist. I'm going to always be an artist and create, but I need to start my own business. And how will I do that? And I'll be honest, I was a little nervous. You know, I'm not really great with numbers. I'm a shopper, you know, so I was like, you know, I don't really like to plan. Michelle was really good because she was following up like these emails and I'm like, I'm feeling overwhelmed. It's too much. But I'm so glad you did that because I'm here today. And so, going back to my original point, at the beginning of this month, January, my sister and I would joke on the phone. She would call me and I would say, I really can't talk right now because I have all these clients who are calling me. And no one was calling me. And she was like, oh, okay. So then she started playing the game with me. Like the next day, hey girl, oh, hold on, I have somebody online. And then I'll make believe that I'm clicking over. And she'd be like, who was that? Girl, 10 more clients wanted me. And so we played this game for about a week and a half. And then life presented me with a wonderful, 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 delicious opportunity. I was recently hired as a trauma-informed consultant for a really powerful organization, and we put on this program, this event called Survivors Speak in Tallahassee, and I thought, great, I can go there and do my healing work. I'll be a wellness practitioner. But when you put it out into the universe, and you are open enough to receive, you will be amazed. They hired me to hire 10 more me's. Did y'all hear that? They hired me to hire 10 more me's. And I remember feeling so overwhelmed, like this is not what I signed up for. I wanted to be the teacher. I wanted to teach people how to breathe. I wanted to, and they're like, no, we trust you. We want you to be over all the healing rooms for over 200 crime survivors. So in the last 3 weeks, I have touched the hands and the hearts of mothers whose children have been murdered, sisters and brothers, siblings. I set up massage and Reiki and, mental health therapists to help assist them during the event. And we left the day before the shooting in Florida. So it's been a wild ride. So my journey is ever evolving. I'm not presenting, just like I presented this excerpt from this show, what you're seeing now is a work in progress. I do a lot of powerful, wonderful work, and I've spent my life having to be perfect, having to have everything down to a science, but I feel freer than ever to just go with the flow, because my flow is still real good. And your flow is still real good if you allow it. So I thank you for your time, your generosity, your patience, and your openness, and being able to receive the stories I'm sharing. And I hope that something I said touched you as I continue to touch people wherever I go. Thank you very much.